Good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday night and time for another Facebook Live. I'm going to give you a minute to find me, and while you're finding me, I will share this to my group. Hopefully it will work tonight. Seems like last week we could never find it. I could never find it to share, so hope y'all are having a good week, getting some Christmas crafting done. We're getting down to it for crafting, but I wanted to be sure and share with you. Oh, there it is. Some of the products that are going away out of our holiday catalog. So even if you don't get them in time to craft with them this Christmas, hey Allison, you can always use them next Christmas. So if there's something that you really want, do not delay. Some things have already sold out. All right, about got it shared, and then we'll get started. Here it goes. So every week when I do this, everybody that comments on this video gets in the drawing to win the card that I make that night. So last week we used the gingerbread, peppermint and gingerbread and peppermint sweet, and made this fun card. So at the end of the video, I'll tell you who won that. One other thing I wanted to be sure you knew about is Friday, which is 2 days from today, is the last day to sign up for the next month's paper pumpkin. So this is this month's. We put this together last night through, I just did a live video of it. This month, and so paper pumpkin, if you don't know, is a box of, it's just a fun box you get every month, and inside are either cards or treat packaging. One time we had a little calendar. So it's just something fun, and everything you need is in this box. You may need a pair of scissors, but that's about it. They supply all of the adhesives. So this month we made 3, not little, they're pretty big. Let's see how tall they are. I didn't ever measure. They are about 6 1/4 inches tall, and like this one is about 4 3/4 at the base. So they come with, so we got to make 9 of these, 3 each of these designs, and then they came with these fun bags. So you fill them with treats and pop them in. They have these little boxes, or whatever, and you pop their treats in there, tie it with a ribbon, and there you go. It's a fun gift. Excuse me. So we got to make those. Everybody that is either on my team or a part of my downline that has paper pumpkin, I always send them supplies to make a bonus project using the stamps from the paper pumpkin. I don't ever use any other stamps. I will sometimes add some ink colors. Like this month, they always provide you with a little ink, and that was Flirty Flamingo. So let me just kind of show you. This one has obviously been opened and used, but you get directions, you get your adhesive, you get the stamp set. You usually get some extra, like there's some extra labels, so in case you mess up on your sentiments. And then these are the tags that we can stamp and tie around the bags once we put treats in there. And some twine. So they give you everything you need, except for, like I said, a pair of scissors. And then I always do a bonus project, and so this is the one I did with this kit. And so they have, everyone has the Flirty Flamingo, because I forgot to show you that, but it's a little spot that comes in each one. So they have the Flirty Flamingo. I added Granny Apple Green and Black. You know, if they don't have Granny Apple, they can add a different color. And then the stamps are strictly what's in the stamp set. And then I send them all the paper and that bow, and they can make this bonus project. So that's something that I do for everyone every month with paper pumpkin. We have a lot of fun with that. All right. The other thing I wanted to be sure you knew about is today only, so just for today, so just for a few more hours, there's free shipping on any orders $50 or more. So I posted this on Facebook, so you can find a link there earlier this morning. This is the host code. If you use this host code, then you can earn 5 handmade cards from me. Regardless if you use the host code or not, you'll get free shipping. But if you use the host code, then you'll get some free cards from me. But that, I'm going to probably close out that order about 9:30 tonight. So just a couple more hours to get in on that using the host code. Okay. I think that's all of the housekeeping. Let's get to crafting. So bring in the card again just so you can kind of see the dies. Let me show you the stamp set. So this is the Merry Snowflake stamp set. I am a sucker for anything snowflakes. I love snowflakes. And luckily, Stampin' Up! Seems to come out with a good snowflake set about every year. So these stamps, I checked the list right before I came on. The stamps are still available. The dies that go with these are not. So we made this card in class and I used a couple of the snowflake dies. Those are sold out. So those are not available. But the stamp set is still available. It's got some nice sentiments and some pretty snowflakes. So I thought, well, we've got to make a card not using the stamp sets. I mean, the dies. So one of the other items that is retiring is this Adorning Designs decorative mask. So this is the one we're going to use, but let me pull out these others so you can see what they are too. I should have pulled over because one of the gingerbread items that I showed last week or the week before, we used this too. But these are the other masks, and these are retiring. And as of when I checked tonight before I came on, these were still available. So some cute stripes. We used this one on a gingerbread card, and then this is fun. I have to use that one on something too before they're gone. So those are in the holiday catalog, and they will be going away. All right, so let's get started. So you can see in the background here, that's how I did the background, is I used this mask. And as always, the dimensions for this will be on my blog when I'm done with the video. So I'm just going to lay that down, and I'm going to lay this down on top of it, trying to make it straight, although with snowflakes it doesn't really matter. And then I'm actually cheating and using the tape from the other night when I did this, but I've just got some Post-it tape. Whoops. And I don't want to put it over my card, so you will still have to hold on to it a little bit, but at least we'll hold this mask in place for us. All right. So this paper is Balmy Blue, and I'm going to use Balmy Blue ink and my blending brush. So this is my blue blending brush. And I have found with these, some of them are kind of, I don't know where's a good place to show you. They're kind of, they'll move. So when I did this, I just pounced. I didn't try and rub it because I was afraid it would just move the template. So I'm just pouncing. And with these, usually you don't want to pounce like this when you're using these blending brushes because you don't want those blobs. But with this, you know, if the snowflake is a little darker in one spot than the other, it really doesn't matter. So I'm just going, whoops, all over all of the snowflakes. Just pouncing on them. And sometimes it's hard to tell. It's like, well, is it doing anything? I really can't tell. But when you take the mask up, you'll be surprised. So I'm just making sure I get all the snowflakes. The ones on the edge. And then we'll just kind of go back over to, again, just to be sure we get some nice coverage. And I kind of like that it's not exactly even. It just gave it some more interest, I thought. All right, we're about there. Do a little bit more on this big one. All right, So if you're concerned about it, you can, this lifts up very easily. You can lift up 2 of these and just kind of hold it in place and peek if you're worried about it. But see, you can't tell looking through there, but when you pull this off, see how fun that is? And then you can just take this to the sink and wash it, or last night I used the baby wipe because I didn't want to go upstairs to the sink. All right, I'm just gonna set that out of the way. And we do want to, while we have that ink out, we'll set that aside. This is going to be the inside of our card because this is Misty Moonlight. So you can't really write on that, so I did a little inside. So we're just going to stamp a couple of snowflakes on the inside. Now, one thing you want to watch out when you're stamping, like I want one full strength and one stamped off, you want to be sure you stamp it off like that. Because if I had stamped it, here, I'll do it on the back side of this. If I had stamped it like that and then stamped it off like that, then you get this line like that where it didn't stamp off cleanly. Stamp off. All right, that's all of the Balmy Blue. We can set that aside. And then we're going to get Misty Moonlight. We're done with our blending brush. And we'll do, since we have our center, our inside piece, we'll go ahead and get that stamped with the Misty Moonlight. And so, depending on how much you want to write, you can put this in the middle, then there's only room to sign. You can put it towards the top and then there's room to write a note. So there's our inside. We'll set that aside. And now we need our sentiment for the outside. So I just have a scrap of basic white and this big Season's Greetings. Oh yeah, that looks good. And I'm just going to stamp it in the middle. And it doesn't matter if it's straight or not because we're going to die cut it. Now I probably wouldn't want it too crooked because then our die might not work. Hopefully that's not too crooked. We'll find out. All right, so the dies that I'm using are my new favorite, Hippo and Friends. I should have gotten these long ago. They are in the annual catalog, but they have fabulous label dies. Now, I haven't made anything. Let me find the stamps real quick. So this is the stamp set that coordinates with it that's in the annual catalog. And it's got cute little animals, a hippo, a horse, a sheep, a butterfly, and those can all be cut out with these dies too. I haven't played with those yet, but I will at some point. All right, so I'm going to grab my mini cut and emboss machine, and I think, let me verify, I don't remember if it was the biggest one or the middle one, so let me check it out. Yeah, I thought it was the middle one of these shapes. So we're going to cut our sentiment out with that. Oops. And my machine will work better if it doesn't have paper underneath of it. If it has paper underneath of it, then it kind of slides. So this is the mini one, which is very handy. And put your plates on there. And then just center this like that. Move that up just a little bit to make sure it's on the paper. And then I kind of hold it so it doesn't slip on me until it gets scrapped, and then you can hold on to the top. Okay. Isn't that fun? All right. Let's put this away. And let's put our die back. I certainly don't want to lose any of these dies. All right. Now we are ready to put everything together. Bring my paper back over. So I have my Misty Moonlight card base. And I'll just use my bone folder to get it folded well. And let's go ahead and put our inside on there. Whoops. Uh-oh. Picked up a dimensional. Oh no. All right, I'll fix that later. I'll just use my Stampin' Seal and put this on the inside. All right, and then we can put our blended, our masked piece on the front, again with just Stampin' Seal or the liquid glue, whatever you prefer. That's just going to get centered right there. All right, and then I used another one of those Hippo and Friends dies, so another shape, and I embossed it with the Wintry 3D embossing folder. So it has pine branches and it has snowflakes. So I use the snowflake one, of course. I think you can kind of see that. And so that I'm going to put on with my liquid glue. Since it's embossed, I like to use my liquid glue. It just holds it a little bit better because of that embossed texture. So I'm going to put that over here on the right. All right, and then this snowflake, since we can't use any of the dies, there are these iridescent, they're called Wonderful Snowflakes. And you pull them out. And they're a very iridescent. Yeah, you can kind of see that. So I've used up that sheet. I think I've used up 2 sheets of them. We used them in class when we made that card that I showed you earlier. And they have tissue paper in between each one. Okay, here we found a sheet now that has some. And I believe these are carrying over, I think, which I'm glad because they're so pretty. So each sheet has 6 on it. You get, what do you get total? 24 total. So 4 sheets. But I have saved my blank sheets because there's some good iridescent paper in there that I can use to die cut some more snowflakes or something. So I didn't want to get rid of that extra paper. They're just kind of adhered or hooked at the little ends, so you just take those out. And then I just used a little bit of my liquid glue in the middle. I didn't want to try and put it on all of those little arms of the snowflake, and so I'm just going to put it right in the middle. Just give that a minute to adhere. Oh, and I forgot. So when I made mine, I wanted to put some snowflakes on my greeting, and I forgot. So let's do that on this one. So we'll bring our little snowflake back out and our balmy blue, but we'll stamp them off so they don't interfere. Oh yeah, I like that much better. I can't go back and do that on mine very easily because it's up on dimensionals. All right, so now we're going to put this on with dimensionals. And I'll put one in the middle since it's a little bit long. And that's going to go down here in this. Oh yeah, I like it much better with those snowflakes on there. So whoever wins this card is going to get a better card than I'm keeping. All right, and then the last thing is this glitter organdy ribbon. It's white glitter ribbon. Really, really pretty. Let me grab my scissors. And I believe it is carrying over also. So I'm just going to tie a bow, and I leave it on the spools. That way I don't waste too much of it. So we're just going to tie. Oh, don't twist on me. Oh, it was this way, wasn't it? There we go. And this one is a little bit, because it has all that glitter, it's a little bit harder to get it to adjust once you get it tied tightly. So let's see, about there, I think. All right. And then, yeah, it really needs to be a little bit smaller. Let's see if I can. No, I'm afraid I'm just going to mess up the bow. There, I got that one a little bit. I don't know if I'm making any progress or not. There, I bet we will. There. Okay. Trim that just a little bit more. I don't want it to be too much over my sentiment. Okay. Then we just need a glue dot. And we will put that right in the middle of our snowflake. I was really pleased with how this turned out. So there we go. There's the card we made. I have a mess over here again. Last night I posted a picture of what my table looks like after I was done doing my live crafting for Paper Pumpkin, and it was a mess, and it's a mess again. It always is when I do live crafting because I just throw everything over to my right on the table. So there we go. Thank you, Allison. I'm glad you liked it. All right. The winner of this card from last week is Betty. So I will get that to her, and she'll have an extra Christmas card that she can send out to someone. And next week we'll do a drawing for this. I do have a class coming up a week from Monday on the 20th, and it's going to be Christmas tags. It's too late to do more Christmas cards, so it'll be Christmas tags. So if you have last minute gifts that you need to put a tag on, that would be a great class to come to. And we'll do 12 tags. We usually do 6 cards, so we'll do 12 tags for $20. So that will be on the 20th at 6:30. I think that's all for tonight. And I should be here next Wednesday to show you something else new. All right, thanks for joining me. Good night.